The only hybrid IEM that I would keep in my arsenal is this. Hello guys, it's Jordan from Jordan Keep Review. Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about this IEM from 64 Audio. It's called a U4S. But before we start the video, I will just slightly tell you guys about my state of life right now. For those of you who are more interested into the review, can just jump straight to the timestamp below. Yeah. So just for you guys info right now, recently I've been coming up with lesser and lesser video. First of all, is because now is considered to be the low month of the Chi-Fi world or the audio world. So throughout the world, most of the exciting stuff like Chi-Fi or good stuff or just their secret weapon of each brand has been released, okay, by this time. So most of them came out in like April, May, yeah, so around the CanJam Singapore time, and most of them which are being teased at the early of the year, everything is out. So now there isn't a lot of exciting stuff, so more stuff are in the teaser mood right now. So that's why we don't have a lot of Chi-Fi stuff or interesting stuff to cover, hence there are lesser Chi-Fi review right now. Another thing is that also some viewers or some friends just mentioned to me that, Jordan, your reviews are getting more expensive. Yes, so I just checked back the records. Yes, I think I agree to some extent. So I just need to confess a little bit. So I am not really a very professional audiophile or reviewers like those big shot, and I'm just a normal dude like all of you who just love music and just have addiction to gears. So that's why. So I see this YouTube channel is more about a sharing of my personal audio gear collection journey. So to show you what are the interesting stuff that I've gotten or what are the things that I am really genuinely interested in. So, and I started out with like KZ, which is like a few years back, and slowly over time I have like tried more and more stuff. So I have owned more and more stuff, and I slowly understand my preference a little bit more. Hence, yeah, so I can say that my taste is a little bit more pampered now. So I'm getting into more of the mid-fi kind of thing. So everything is like kilobaht kind of thing, which is the range that I can comfortably afford. Yeah, that's why right now these are the things that I have purchased, and that's why I will share more of this right now, and less so into the Chi-Fi, like maybe something at $100 or below, $200 and below. Not that they are not good, just that the things keep coming up nowadays are too many to cover with, and most of them doesn't replace each another. So the good stuff will be, most of them are really like from the bigger brands like SimGod, like Kiwi Ears, Moondrop, yeah, and TA Audio. So bigger brands usually will have something more stable. Yeah, just stay there for a bit longer. So I don't see the point of sharing new stuff like a $50 new IEM that I would keep here. So really, because most of them you can't beat like the EA 1000, EA 500, that kind of thing. So that's why no point in sharing most of them. So that's why now move on to the mid-fi territory, which is the area that I'm currently staying. That's why the reduce in frequency as well, because money doesn't grow out from trees. So that's all for my state of life right now. That's why getting lesser and lesser video, but still really appreciate you guys for staying around. So let's go with the review. Yeah, it's gotten so much more comfortable after I telling you all this. So let's go. Today we're talking about this 64 Audio U4S, and like I said, this is the only hybrid IEM that I would keep in my arsenal. So in my arsenal, there are only 9 IEM because the arsenal only have like 9 slots in the box, so I can only afford to keep 9 of them, and it's a good habit so that I don't hoard a lot of stuff. I just buy and sell most of them, and I don't have a hybrid IEM in there before that. So I have tri-breed, I have full BA. Yeah, most of them are like full BA and hybrid. So don't really have hybrid IEM, which is like consists of DD and BA. So if I were to keep one, I will keep this. Not that I haven't tried a lot of hybrid out there, but this is the one that I finally made up my mind that I would keep it in the arsenal. Yes, so this 64 audio U4S is a $1,100 US dollar IEM. So it's kind of like a Monarch kind of territory. So it's a mid-fi, like more for a lot of you would be the top of the line. It's a 1+3 BA, so 1 DD, 3 BA setup. And maybe to a lot of people, this setup is kind of like too expensive for $1,100. To me as well, psychologically, I was contemplating about this IEM because it's a 1+3 IEM, but yet selling at $1,100, which is like, wow, that's a lot, man. So until I really like try it, give it a bit more time to listen to it, and now I just realized how stupid I was and never gotten it like when it just released. So let's talk about the build quality and everything. So the build is very pretty, I would say. At least this blue color is stunningly good. So everything is in metal, so like you guys see here. So, and it does come with different Apex module. So for those of you who don't know 64 audio, they have this little module thingy that you can change. So they provided you with a few of them. So the one with the least amount of bass, technically no bass at all, so we call it the MX module. And also the M12, which is proprietary for this U4S, and it comes in gold color, which is super handsome. Then also, of course, we have the M15, which is the one with the balance, not too much amount of bass, but just nice, okay. And lastly, the M20, which is have tremendous amount of bass. For those of you who like, I mean, everyone will have their own preference, slightly less bass, slightly more bass. So this IEM come in the one that the M12, which is the one next to no bass at all. So this has very, I would say, decent amount of okay bass, but not overpowering, not too much, which I think it make a lot of sense in this setup and in this sound signature. So I love this a lot. So these are the module that it came with, and the one that I'm using right now is the gold color one. Yeah, like I said, so it's called the M12. So not as many bass as like something from the M15 or M20, but this module also contribute in like the sense of openness. Yeah, maybe because of the how it went the air inside the IEM. So with lesser air, you get more bass because it's more closed, more I mean, everything is sealed, so you get a bit more bass, but this is slightly a bit more open. So using M12 just balance out everything out, so you have this amount of space, openness with good amount of bass. So I'll show you guys the sound as well, I mean in terms of our frequency response, and the cable that it came with. As usual, 64 audio stuff, if you're going into the $1,100 stuff and you got a 3.5 cable that doesn't really work very nice, or it doesn't look very premium, just to me, okay. So to a lot of people, they'll be fine with this cable, but to me, I would just swap up to something a little bit more, wow, blue, see, nicer at least, right? So if you're willing to spend $1,100, why not just get a $100 each, $200 each kind of cable? You'll be happier. So let's talk about the tips that it came with. The tips that it also, as usual, it come with foam tips and come with a normal tips from 64 audio, but because of the nozzle, the way they design the nozzle, I think that it's a little bit too short, to me at least. So I always use Asla tips from Asla, this brand called Asla. So they have like Asla Setna, not the Celestic sticky tip, but from Asla. So the tips right now that I put on it is called the Asla Origin. Yeah, I've forgotten the name. Yeah, so it's the one of their latest tips out there, which just released like this year, and also it comes in blue. Yeah, so for the sake of color matching and for the sound signature that it gives, it's not the kind of sticky kind of material, so no worry. And also why I use Asla is because Asla ball size, the stem of the ear tip is slightly longer. So for this kind of IEM where the nozzle is a bit shorter, you might need something like this where the stem is slightly a bit longer at the ear tip side, where it can just fit a bit nicer. So for those of you who just have a look on how it fits, just wear it like this. Yep. Sure whether you guys can see. It's a bit closer. To me, it's just fit flawlessly. Yeah, I like it very much. And on my 64 audio U60, yeah, that one I was using Asla Setna Light, yeah, Asla Setna, something like that. So it's from Asla as well. So no brainer, Asla all the time. So this is my current setup, and let's talk about the sound. So what impressed me of this U4S is that it is a very 64 audio kind of sound. So if you guys haven't tried 64 audio kind of sound, you guys can go and try it. They have this very house sound of them. So where usually I love how they do their treble. Yeah, so 64 audio, maybe because of the way that they do their BA drivers and the implementation that the technologies that put onto the IEM, usually the treble are very well done. Okay, so some of them might be bright, but usually it won't have that BA timbre, metallic timbre that a lot of the BA IEM or hybrid IEM have. So that's why one of the reasons why I am a very big fan of 64 audio. So I have the U60. So even before the start of this channel, I've been having that and I've been loving it so much. Now U4S, I also love it a lot, and I would say that this is an introduction to the 64 audio sound, as in because this might be one of the cheapest entry IEM that you can get from 64 audio that give you that sense of performance that 64 audio give. So I would say this IEM landed around like the U12T. I mean, it's a cheaper U12T, I would say, cheaper U12T with a mix of, I would say, U4S together with the U6T together, these two IEM, which is the entry level, blend them together and you will get really a mini U12T. Yeah, so of course, a little bit lacking in technicalities. I mean, you won't be able to get the detail level or the imaging level of the U12T, but sound-wise, signature-wise, yes, you can. I mean, it's already there. So let's talk about the bass. So the bass here are quite subjective because you can change the module like however you wish. You wish it to be like totally flat without any bass, just put on the module with no bass. 12 is the one that it came with, make a lot of sense, and 15 is for those who enjoy slightly a bit more pop song, modern song, like most of the stuff out there right now, and 20 is for a very niche kind of group where you just enjoy bass. But if you enjoy bass, not sure will you get the U4S or not, but I think that the bass, regardless of the module that you choose on this U4S, is a very nice bodied and texture bass. That's why I say U12T, someone say that the U12T has the best bass so in the market, and I still think that it is. Okay, on this U4S, maybe because of the DD that it was using, because previously it was the U4T or something. So this is the S version where the DD, the bass is being done by DD, and it's full of, I would say, texture and body, very full bodied bass, and yet it doesn't bleed into the mid-range. And also the bass that it gives is not the overly boomy kind of bass, it's a clean kind of bass that you would prefer. You have a lot of if you like kick drums or stuff, you'll be able to hear not just the boominess of the kick drum, you will hear a very distinct hit. And also if you like snare, you love that kind of hit because it's very fast, very tactile, and very precise, very clean kind of bass with bodied. Yes, you will love this kind of bass on the U4S. That's why also some people say that the U4S is a very fun IEM to listen to. And also the U4S, mind you, is tilting towards the slightly bright side. Okay, it's not like a super sharp IEM. Like I said, a lot of the 64 audio IEM, even though they want to tilt it to slightly bright-ish, but then most of them are not sharp, that you don't have a lot of sibilance issue with them. So this IEM U4S, at the treble area, you get quite a lot of it, but not into the extent that it is sibilance or sharp in any way because of the 64 audio house sound. And as for the mid-range, I say it's a very clean, clear kind of sound, not as warmish as something like from the U60, but vocal is not, not the kind of vocal that will stand right in front of you, super forward kind of view, but it does stand slightly more outwards than the U60. So U60 is even slightly more warmish, a bit more safe and laid back to listen to. U4S is the one that have slightly more aggressive presentation. So your vocals, although not like super forward, but it's just a little bit more than the U60. And as for the technicalities, okay, this is the part where this thing loses a lot to the U12T and also the U18S, because you won't be getting the most like imaging level that the U12T or the U18S will be able to do. So something like the U18S, you can really pinpoint every single instruments that are playing in terms of left to right and front to back. So it's a very 3D kind of listening experience from the U18S. U4, I think it's okay. I mean, it is good considering that in the price of around like $1,000, it's considered like doing alright. Not that it's bad or anything. I just think that it's okay, nothing to nitpick about, but it's also nothing to praise about. And as for the soundstage, actually the U4S does very good in terms of like staging. It's not a very congested IEM. I think that for 64 audio IEM, depends on the module that you put on it. Usually use U60 like U4S. If you use something like the MX module, M12 or M50 module, you should be able to get a quite decent amount of like space. I mean, because of the openness that the module can be able to give you. So on the U4S, using the M12 module, I think that is pretty good and pretty sweet at the right spot. Yeah, sweet spot, I would say. So I would say in terms of what this thing is really good at is also the same thing like I usually say with the U12T. It is kind of versatile. Yeah, it can do a lot of things right. Also at the same time, it is not specifically excel in like specific genre, like maybe this IEM is best for orchestra, or this IEM is best for female vocal, this IEM is best for like pop music. No, it doesn't. Just that this IEM is good for a lot of things. It just do everything quite well, and regardless of the genre that you throw on it, you'll be able to like score quite flawlessly. I mean, quite effortlessly. So I would think that effortless is the term that I would describe this IEM, the U4S. And also for those of you who haven't tried one, should give it a try, because I think that comparison to something like the TA Audio stuff, for example the TA Audio Monarch Mark III, so it's around the same price, right? So the Monarch Mark III is like $1,000, this is $1,100. So I would say in terms of like detail retrieval and stuff, maybe the TA Audio Monarch Mark III have more of that, and also staging, imaging, everything is better on the Monarch Mark III. But when it comes to overall in the linear, I mean when it comes to what is the word? I would say coherency, and in terms of like the body that it can give in terms of bass, in terms of the treble quality that this thing will be able to provide, I think it's better compared to the TA Audio Monarch Mark III, where Monarch Mark III is not that sharp, but when you listen to like the treble area, it's still not as refined as something like the 64 Audio be able to do. So I think that the U4S is very well done in this aspect. And for those of you who are curious about the U4S and the comparison with the U6T, so U6T is 6 PM, one of my favorite, and super ultra versatile, can play everything. So U6T is a little bit more laid back and a little bit more warmish, but still, yeah, do a lot of stuff pretty decently. U4S is slightly a bit more fun, where it has slightly a bit more bass, and also it has that brightness, aggressiveness that a lot of you might like. For some of you who like treble, or you like the kind of slightly brighter sound, you will love this a lot, but not in the extent that it is sharp or sibilant, even with a lot of songs with a lot of S and T. So for example, like Yellow from Coldplay, actually the song itself have tons of words start with S. So some IEM can't even handle the Yellow very much because of the sibilance thingy. But on the U4S, even though it's slightly tilting towards the brighter side, but it's still very nicely done. Yes, so I would say this will be in the arsenal like the U6T for a very long time. Will I get rid of it? Definitely not. So I think that for those of you who have this like $1,000 kilobuck budget, but not sure what to get, or you already have something like the TA Audio stuff, which is a bang for the buck, you can consider something like this, I would say. So yeah, that's all for the review, and I have something even more exciting next week to show you all, and see you all again. Bye bye.